They call it the White Death. But for this Colorado miner, it was a new lease on life. Our number 4 amazing survival story is Buried Alive.
What is the likelihood that anyone would survive being buried by an avalanche?
Every year, deadly avalanches claim hundreds of lives in snowy mountain ranges around the globe.
You got to get to them very quickly after about 15 minutes. They have less than, about 30% chance of survival at that point.
In November 1985, 30-year-old miner Lester Morlang and his business partner Jack Ritter were digging for gold in the Colorado mountains.
The road leading to the mine is called Avalanche Alley. And it was on a pretty steep hillside, and there was a storm coming in.
Morlang and Ritter were working outside the entrance of the mine when a major avalanche hit. Within seconds, the men were engulfed by the wall of snow.
I wasn't sure what was happening till it stopped.
During the fall, Morlang instinctively covered his face. This small act may have saved his life.
And I was able to dig around my face a little bit because you wanted air, you couldn't breathe.
Buried under 35 feet of snow, the miner slowly burrowed upward. It took him hours to maneuver just a few feet. Throughout the ordeal, Morlang maintained a spiritual connection with his wife Anita.
When I'm thinking of her, why, then all of a sudden I can smell her. She's right there, and I prayed harder than anybody that goes to church.
Nearly 24 hours after he was buried alive, Morlang broke through to the surface. With the sun and the temperature dropping, Morlang built a snow cave to protect himself from the elements. But as Morlang waited in his snow cave, a second avalanche buried him again.
It was plumb scary. I remember screaming, no way, because I dug all that way and it covered me again.
This time, Morlang was covered in only 4 to 5 feet of snow. By daylight, Morlang had dug himself out again. As he descended the mountain ridge, he could hear the sound of rescue helicopters buzzing overhead. There was also a more troubling sound.
I'm walking on the hard pack when I'm hearing these explosions. And then it dawned on me they're trying to secure the slope for the rescuers.
The rescuers set off a series of deliberate avalanches along the mountainside to clear a path for the search team. But Morlang was below them, directly in harm's way.
So now I'm panicky. Now I'm freaking out what I'm going to do.
Morlang dodged behind a tree and held on during the deafening whiteout.
Now I'm mad. Now I've had about enough. I've made it this far. I'm going to get out of here.
Nearly 48 hours after the initial avalanche, Lester was finally picked up by the helicopter. That's when Morlang learned his partner Jack was killed in the first avalanche.
When they told me about Jack, that was pretty hard. Because having to see his family.
Meanwhile, a family friend told Anita that her husband Lester had been found.
Time around me stood still. I'm gonna see my husband. That was the only thing on my mind.
The couple was reunited at the hospital.
He said, "You smell like heaven." With the first words out of his mouth, time stopped again.
For her to touch me, just all of that relief just released, and then I knew I was home free.
Despite the near-death experience and the loss of his good friend, Morlang says he's grateful.
If you ever find yourself in a tough place, I hope you remember, don't ever give up.
We always try to teach people to keep on our backside and almost like swimming in a river with our feet downhill to avoid injuries to our head or neck or that kind of thing. Keep your feet down and just try to fight your way towards the surface of the snow.
Coming up, trapped in the wilderness, you won't believe what one man did to survive.
I think any other human being would have died in that situation.
And later, our most incredible survival story.